The buzz between the Minnesota Vikings and Drake Maye is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and reports are coming out that may be indicating that the North Carolina quarterback may be suiting up for the purple and gold next season. We'll dive into that just around the corner, but we're going to be talking about the New England Patriots a little bit on today's show, and we are actually in a sub-battle with their channel here at Chat Sports. We're doing a race to 100 subs. I want to break it on today's video. We are up first here at Chat Sports. So if you guys are new here and want to stay up to date on the latest around the 2024 NFL Draft and your Minnesota Vikings, hit that sub button and lock us in. So the report that came out early on this morning was that Patriots GM Eliot Wolf may be pushing New England to draft the Michigan quarterback JJ McCarthy. So where does that leave things with the Minnesota Vikings and Drake Maye? We'll get to that in a second. And then also later on today's show, I have a take around the Minnesota Vikings trading up with us with the Los Angeles Chargers and why I believe it won't happen before up until the NFL draft, and if it does happen, it will be a draft day trade. But let's dive right into the report that we got early on this morning. This is coming in from Tony Pauline. She's very tapped in with the New England Patriots, and she had this to say around JJ McCarthy. She said, "I'm not big on McCarthy being a top 10 selection, but the University of Michigan signal caller to New England was the buzz on the pro day circuit. De facto general manager of the New England Patriots, Eliot Wolf, is pushing hard for McCarthy, and he believes he has as much upside as any quarterback in the draft." One more time, Eliot Wolf, Patriots GM, is pushing hard for JJ McCarthy. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this would be something. If we are there on draft night and it goes Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then the Patriots throw us a curveball and it's JJ McCarthy going number 3, and it makes a whole lot of sense because if we take a look at the bookmakers out west where they are putting JJ McCarthy next team odds at right now, it is still the Minnesota Vikings at plus 105. However, early on last week, Vikings were actually minus 150 to draft JJ, so odds are going in the other direction. And then the Patriots are flying up the board right now as they're at plus 340 to take the Michigan quarterback. And, the Patriots obviously have the third overall pick. It's not like they would be taking him at 5, 6, or 7 or later on. That would be them taking him at 3. Then the Commanders, Giants, Broncos all follow him. And I know what you guys might be saying. Why would the Patriots want to go take J.J. McCarthy? Well, I got 5 reasons why. All he's done is win. He won 2 state championships in high school, then transferred to IMG and won another state title there. Then he went to Michigan, obviously winning the Natty this past season. He has been a winner at every single level, even winning 7-on-7 championships when he was back in middle school. And then also this, I think he could truly be a face of the franchise. When you hear the name J.J. McCarthy, it just screams a future franchise quarterback, and that's a big reason why I would be thrilled if the Minnesota Vikings would draft him. And I really do believe this. He can make every throw in the book, whether it's a deep post, deep corner. He can touch every blade of grass on the football field. And I've said this countless times on the channel. Just because Michigan didn't ask him to do it doesn't mean he can't. I think that is key when evaluating a quarterbacks. Don't just kind of go off their tape of last season, kind of project of what they could be. And in certain moments, in certain spot plays on 3rd and down, J.J. McCarthy has shown the ability to make every throw in the book. Big reason why he's won 4 national championships since he's been a freshman in high school. And also this is my favorite part about his game. He's just a gutsy playmaker, and I'll tell you what, it kind of gets him in trouble a couple times. If you guys go back to the first play against Alabama in the Rose Bowl, J.J. McCarthy's rolling out right, and he almost threw an interception on the first play of the game when he could have thrown it out of bounds. But it also the positive of that. He is not afraid to fit a football into a tight window. That throw he had against Ohio State where he threw it over the right shoulder of the linebacker, just completely ear-holed a ball by him moving out of the pocket. He's gutsy. I like his kind of mantra and his alphaness when he is playing the game of football, and he just takes chances, and I absolutely love it. And then also this, the potential and the it factor. J.J. McCarthy just turned 21 years old this past January. Guys like Michael Penix, guys like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix are all older than the Michigan quarterback. So I think if you're projecting on what McCarthy could be, and if you're telling me what JJ could be in 2 years, is not better than a guy like what Michael Penix did this past season or what Bo Nix is doing, I just think it's ludicrous, and I think McCarthy is no doubt a top 3 or 4 quarterback in this year's class because of those 5 reasons. And listen, guys, it just kind of makes sense for the Patriots to want to draft another Michigan quarterback because of this man right here. Shout out to Tex for making this graphic, but Tom Brady. I mean, I'm sure Eliot Wolf is just looking at it and just makes a whole lot of sense, and it would just be easy to go draft another Michigan quarterback where all they do is win. They've been doubted their entire career. I don't know. I just think maybe the Patriots may be looking at the past as an indication of what they should do at number 3, but it could also just be a smokescreen. With all these reports coming out, and I really do appreciate everybody here on the channel just kind of sticking with me and watching every video because we're getting reports left and right, and it's a bunch of helter-skelter here on the channel. But what if this is just smoke to get the Vikings to trade up with the Patriots if they believe, if the Patriots front office fully believe that JJ McCarthy is their guy for Minnesota? What if this is just a smokescreen to get the Vikings to trade up to number 3 and draft a Michigan quarterback? But I disagree with that because we got this report yesterday from Carmen Vitale, who works with Fox Sports, and she was talking about Kevin O'Connell's quarterback preference. She says, in quote, "From sources I've talked to, the Vikings and Coach Kevin O'Connell in particular likes Drake Maye, the former UNC quarterback with a high floor and tremendous pocket presence." And my take on this, I think Kevin O'Connell views Drake Maye as a project. I think he views him as a guy with a tremendous upside and maybe a lower floor than most people think. But if you look at other quarterbacks in the league, the Josh Allens, the Justin Herberts, the big body quarterbacks who got a big time arm and pretty solid mobility, Kevin O'Connell's looking at him saying, with the support system we have, with the weapons, with the offensive line, with the franchise tight end, now with Aaron Jones in the running game, KOC is probably saying to himself, I can just sandpaper his game, really just highlight his positives with kind of masking his weaknesses, and he also has the ability to sit behind Sam Darnold next season. We'll dive into Sam Darnold here in a second, but I do want to ask you guys, if you are the Minnesota Vikings, and let's just say they trade up to pick number 3 with the New England Patriots, who are you taking? Pick a quarterback for me. If you're riding with the Michigan quarterback, the national champ type JJ from JJ McCarthy, or if you're looking at Drake Maye, give me a DM down in the comments section. So we got a new report here early on today. This is coming from Kevin Seifert, who is the beat reporter for the Minnesota Vikings for ESPN, and said the Vikings will potentially start Sam Darnold next season and look to draft in the 2025 QB class for a new starter. And listen, I don't necessarily believe this. I think the Vikings are looking at Sam Darnold as a bridge guy for a quarterback in this year's class, but maybe they're looking at a guy like, hey, Tex and I were just talking about Quinn Ewers for next season, or Shedeur Sanders. Maybe the Vikings are looking at that, and they want to have 2 first-round picks to really build around the roster. But I'll give you guys 5 reasons to believe in Sam Darnold heading into this season, because I feel like Vikings fans are just kind of overlooking him a little bit. And listen, the guy is only 26 years old, and I understand, hey, Aaron Rodgers, he sat behind Brett Favre for 3 to 4 seasons, and he was only 25 when he got his first career start. I think the jury is still out on if Sam Darnold can be maybe not a face of the franchise type of quarterback, but a very serviceable starter in the NFL. And he's going to be playing with the best support system he's played with in the entire, in his entire National Football League career. Like I said, you got the 2 bookend tackles, you got the 2 elite receivers, got the franchise tight end. He's going to have a great system around him. And, he was a top 3 pick by the New York Jets for a reason. He had tremendous potential coming out of college. He was an absolute stud when he played at the University of Southern California. And I still think he's kind of got that it factor and that potential in him. And if the Viking support system, they could get that out of him, I think maybe the Vikings have a hidden gem. And this is kind of me. I've said this on the channel. I think a lot of people, not just in sports but in life, are the product of the environment they are in. And him being in San Francisco last season with Kyle Shanahan, with John Lynch, I think just all the tutelage and all the information he got is just going to help progress his game. And what if this? What if he's the next Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff? Where, yes, I understand Jared Goff did make a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams, but there was a reason they moved off him. They thought he couldn't be that guy. He goes to Detroit, and he's leading one of the top 5 offenses in the National Football League. Or a guy like Baker Mayfield. After he left the Cleveland Browns, he was with Carolina. He went to L.A. for a season, or L.A. for the second half of the year, and then he went to Tampa Bay last year, and he was great. He completely balled out because of the support system Tampa Bay put around him. I think when we're evaluating a lot of these quarterbacks, guys, 50% of it is landing spot. 50% of it is where you end up going. And for all those reasons, I'm starting to believe in Sam Darnold having a pretty solid season for Minnesota. But I'll ask you guys, do you guys believe in Sammy D? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no down in the comments section. I better see a whole lot of Y's because I'm an optimistic guy, and hopefully those 5 reasons, swayed you guys in that way. But coming up next, I do want to get my take around the Vikings trading up with the Los Angeles Chargers. That's why I don't think it may happen before draft day. But I got to tell you guys about a sweet deal we have going on right now. We got Aaron Jones jerseys flying off the shelves. And if you guys head to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey, pick up your Aaron Jones jersey today. I think this is going to be a hot jersey at US Bank Stadium this season. So if you guys don't want to feel left out, go down there, hit the link in the comment section and description, and get your Aaron Jones jersey today. All right, so here's my take around the Vikings trading up with the Chargers. I don't think this trade will happen unless it is literally right before the Chargers are picking at number 5. We won't get this trade this week, next week, or the week after that leading up to the draft because the Vikings wouldn't want to risk a team jumping them like the Las Vegas Raiders or maybe like the Denver Broncos that, Sean Payton, he came out and flat out said it. He said he thinks it's realistic that the Denver Broncos trade up. And they actually have a better offer than I think people think. I mean, they can give up the 12th pick. They can give up a 1st and 2nd for next season. And if they are really willing to do it, they could throw in Pat Surtain in that deal. But if you guys look what the Vikings have, 11, 23, a couple 4ths this year, and they have a 1st and 3rd for next season. And, when it comes down to it, I don't think anybody can outbid Minnesota in this year's draft, whether it's the Raiders or the Broncos. Like, truly, if the Vikings, if they have a guy in mind, they can go get him. Like, there is no reason. Like, if you fully believe in JJ McCarthy, you have every kind of piece of ammunition, every piece of draft capital to go get your guy. Now, if their guy, which I think it is Drake Maye, you're going to almost have to pay the quarterback tax and the tax of that team wanting to draft a quarterback to go get the North Carolina quarterback. Because if you're the Patriots, you're saying, well, we know you want to jump up here and draft a QB. Well, we also want a QB, so we're going to want more draft capital even after that. But still, when it comes down to it, I really do believe this. If the Vikings have a guy in mind, they are going to go get him. But I want to say shout out to all of the real ones who watched this entire show. And if you guys made it to the end, give me a skull down in the comment section. I'll show you guys some extra love. And just let me know your thoughts on the whole Vikings trading up for a quarterback saga. But if you guys aren't subscribed already, I don't know what you're doing. We're still in this race to 100 subs with our Patriots Today channel. So if you guys want to help me out, lock us in, hit that sub button. And as always, see you guys next time. Skol Vikes, baby.